stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, and I would Eric, would you like to lead us this morning, please? Thank you. County Highway number 1, jurisdictional transfer. If you have a comment or a statement about old business, we will take these at the end of the meeting under public comment. So please hold your comments for this item, and now I will turn it over to Mr. Ronaldson, our Will County engineer. Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman, committee, everyone in the room, welcome. Parker Road, we have been discussing this project for a couple months now. A couple months ago, the mayor, Village of Homer Glen, met with me and expressed their interest to actually take over the road. So we have been discussing that. September 29th, I did submit jurisdictional transfer agreements to IDOT for their review that would allow that. And since then, Homer Glen reached out to the Village of New Lenox and the New Lenox Township Road District regarding that south half mile because it's actually outside the municipal limits. So they reached out to those entities to see if they would take over that half mile. I have since then had discussions with the road commissioner for New Lenox Township road district, and he is willing to take over that south half mile, but he would like something in return. An overlay is what he would desire. So my staff came up with a cost estimate as if we were to do the overlay. It would be about $185,000. So my recommendation is not that we do the overlay for them, that we give them that one lump sum once IDOT would execute the jurisdictional transfer agreement. That way the road commissioner, could then overlay the road as part of his overlay program. That way we're out of it. We would just give them that one lump sum at that time. So that's going to be my recommendation, but let me continue with the story here. We had not received comments yet back from IDOT on the JT agreements. They take a little time. So October 24th, I reached out again to them asking for status. October 31st, they finally gave us comments, pretty minor. So we have addressed those and resubmitted back to IDOT November 1 for their final concurrence. So at this time, my plan with concurrence from the committee is in December to bring back those jurisdictional agreements that would then turn over the majority of the road to the Village of Homer Glen within their municipal limits, then that south half mile over to the New Lenox Township Road District. So once we get the final comments back from IDOT, I'll send them to those two entities for them to execute. And the plan would be in December for the county board to be able to approve it at that time. And then our phase 1 project would close out. We'd have some things to finish that out, and then we would be done. Then be their roadway. So that's kind of the status of where the whole JT thing is at. So hopefully that kind of addresses a lot of comments that we have heard over these last few months. Any questions or comments on that?
Steve, let's open it up to committee members first, and then you'll get a chance to speak. Thank you. Committee members, any discussion, any questions for Mr. Ronaldson? Jim?
No, just a point maybe is, so then, because we talked about having a meeting in November, December, in regards to the project moving forward. So then the residents, as far as they're concerned, it's all going to be turned over to Homer Glen, assuming all the paperwork's documented, and then we'll be no longer having any additional conversations. They'll be handled by Homer Glen.
That's correct. Our public hearing, we were shooting for the end of the year, but I mean, we've stalled our project for a while, so we haven't been doing anything. So once this turns over to the agencies, the village and the township, there would be no need for our meeting at that time.
Okay, thanks, Jeff.
Any other questions? No? Steve, good morning.
Yeah, with the Head Road project, the township put in a jurisdictional transfer, and I talked with the state's attorney. He gave me what his opinion was. I disagreed with his opinion, of course. Told him that it's up to a judge to decide what is really the proper opinion. It's got to be ruled on. So, they gave me an opinion, okay, but I still have not formally been issued a notice that the township was denied. So until I get that notice, we were first in with the township was the first one to do the jurisdictional transfer there. So we have to be denied before you can give the road to the next person, the next city. And we have not formally done that. And then it's up to my board. I'm the township supervisor. And it's up to my board whether or not we say fine, or we say we're going to take the county or the village or IDOT. I don't know who. It's up to the lawyers to court, because the people on that Hadley Road have no protections moving forward if the village takes the road, because the village won't put that in the documents, or hasn't done it yet. I'm not saying they won't, but they haven't done it yet. So the township's duty is to protect the people within the township. They are within the township. So I don't know how you can move forward on anything until we get an official denial.
I have a voicemail from last week. I've been gone out of state, but I have received it from the state's attorney's office. I don't want to put words in the state's attorney's mouth, but my opinion has always been that the township also cannot take a roadway within a municipality. I believe, I'm going to put words in their mouth. I believe that is true, but
Mr. McGrath, would you like to
comment on that?
join us? please?
Assuming that's the case, yeah, we can provide a formal denial if that's what the township would like. But we are proceeding forward with what I believe and understand is legally possible, which would be turning the majority over to the village, with the south half mile to the village of the township of New Lenox.
Dan McGrath, Assistant State's Attorney. In terms of, I did speak to Mr. Balich a week or so, or maybe 2 weeks ago, with regard to this issue, and advised him that, in my opinion, in the opinion of the State's Attorney's Office, they have no authority. But more important than my opinion, or even the State's Attorney's Office opinion, the statute is very clear. It's one of the few things that there's no gray. It's black and white. They can't get it as long as if it's a state highway, a county highway, or a municipality within a municipal road system. The township they can't get the road. It's that simple. There's also case law on it. He said he wanted a judge to weigh in on it. A number of judges already have, and they have made it very clear that the statute says what the statute says. So it's part of right now. It's part of the county highway system. So they can't have access to it if Homer Glen takes it and there's a transfer of joint transfer, which the municipal code specifically allows. So that's a different statute, but that also allows the municipality to take over if there's an agreement by the county, which there is in this case. Once IDOT approves it and the village takes over, there's nothing the county can do or the township can do. It's that simple. Filing a lawsuit would just be a waste of time and money, in my opinion. So I'll answer whatever questions if you have any.
Okay, thank you for that explanation. Let's go back to Steve, and then we'll go to Jackie.
I heard what you guys said. There were three of you talking to me about it. And, okay, you guys are lawyers. I'm not. But we need to have in writing saying that we don't, because my attorneys have a different opinion than your attorney, than you guys. They say that there is a gray area. And so I'm just going by what I'm told. So if you're definite on what you're saying, and they're saying that they're not sure you're right. So in order to move forward, we need in writing a denial from the county. And if you can't give me in writing, then how the heck can we move forward? And the township, as a supervisor there, now I'd be speaking as that person, as a supervisor, my duty is to protect all the residents in that town. Right? And Homer Glen is only 60%. There's Lockport, there's unincorporated, there's New Lenox, and there's Lemont. But I have to protect everybody, not just one group. So if we can't get it in writing, I don't know how we can move forward.
Steve, I think you have to understand that at this committee, this is at the county level, and our job is to protect the county and their interest. And if Mr. McGrath says that, this is what he believes, that's the advice that the committee has to take. I don't know if Mr. McGrath would be willing to put that in writing or not. We can have that discussion.
What I'm asking is, why can't I get just say we're denying it on paper?
Mhm.
I mean, we have no official denial. I have no record of a denial other than a conversation on a telephone. That's not acceptable.
Okay.
I mean, if I can't, I have to have something that says it's denied.
Okay.
And you don't even have to say why, just say it's denied. Not my business then.
Well, the state law says what the state law says. It's not a matter of denying it. If I wanted to grant it, if the county wanted to grant it, we can't. It's that simple. The law says what the law says. It's been litigated. This has been the law since at least 1965, where there's been a case that's made this statement, and it's been litigated as recently as 2008. I mean, if you want something on a piece of paper, I'll talk to Jeff and we'll see. But the point is, whether there's a piece of paper that says denied or not, I don't even know what that means because we can't grant it. We don't have authority to grant it.
Just give me something that says it's not granted.
Okay. All right. Let's move to, thanks, Steve. Thank you, Dan. Jackie?